Hey there, Math Fans! Test 9, Lesson 5. Get your swords ready and let's go! Today's objectives are to identify amounts from a balance scale, identify prime numbers, and read stem and leaf plots. And since yesterday's lesson was a bit long, this one's a bit shorter to make up for it. Let's start by identifying amounts from a scale. So here we have scales, and anytime we're using scales in math, we're really getting ready to do algebra. This looks a little bit confusing. It's a bunch of shapes and colors all over the place. Whenever you see something that looks confusing in math, your best idea is to just stop, take a deep breath, and take it one step at a time. So for our first step, we're going to look down here where we have a chart. And my chart tells me that these yellow shapes, I don't know what their mass is. Purple shapes, I don't know what their mass is, but the orange shapes and the blue shapes I do. So I'm going to go back and write in over all of my orange shapes the number 2. Because the chart tells me that each of those is 2 grams. And over here I'm going to write 4 because there's 2 of them. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then over my triangles I'm going to write a 6 because that's what the chart says it's worth. Now my question here is, what do the yellow and purple guys equal? So if I look at that top scale, it's actually really easy to figure out what the purple guy weighs. Because I keep saying weighs, but that's actually really inaccurate. It should be what the mass of the purple guy is. I'm just telling you that because I make that mistake often. So on this side of the scale, I have 2 plus 6, which is going to equal 8. Now because my scale is balanced, that means this side also has to equal 8. I already know that these 3 are going to be 2, 4, 6, and that means the purple one is also 2. That's the only thing it can be, because I have 2, 4, 6, has to add up to 8, purple must equal 2. Now that I know that, I can go to my bottom scale, and I know that each of those purples is going to be 2, which means this group of 3 will be 2, 4, 6, and this group of 3 will be 2, 4, 6, and now I can find out the value of this right side of the scale. So 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 6 is 16. Now I go to the left side of the scale, and because it's balanced, they also have to add up to 16. I've got 2 of these. They're the same, so presumably they will each be the same mass. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. Each of those is 8. And that's all there was to it. So it looks kind of confusing, but it's not really. So now you give it a try. Here's a different set of objects on the scale. The values have changed, so look down here. I still don't know what the yellow circles or the purple squares are, but the orange circles are 3 grams, and the blue triangles are now 5 grams. Pause the video here and give this a try, and when you come back, I'll have the answer for you. So on the top one, on this side, I have 5, 3, and 3, so 5 plus 6 is 11. On this side, I have 5 plus something, and it also has to equal 11, which means this must be 6. I could have also done that by saying, okay, well, these 2 will balance. I can just take them right off. And then I could just add those 2 up. They equal 6. Same answer. On my bottom scale, now I know the purple box is 6. And those orange guys are 3 each, so they're going to be 6. This is going to be 12. This side must also be 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4, so each of those must be 4. And that's all there is to it. For our second and third objectives, identifying prime numbers and reading stem and leaf plots, those are both review. So I'm going to send you off to do a study jam and play kind of a fun game about them. Your study jam is located at www.bit.ly/P9TGYW. And tiny URL still is not working, so I apologize. You're going to go watch that study jam and then do all 7 test me questions. That is today's review. So there's no review on this video. Instead, you're going to do all 7 test me questions from the study jam, and that's what you're going to bring tomorrow. And then the next part is just a game, and I'm just trusting you to do it. You don't have to play for as long as you feel you need to. It's a fun game. It's called Sigma Prime. And it is at Manga High, which is at www.bit.ly/RC4NSF. If you go there and play that game, it's kind of a Space Invaders or Asteroids type game. You have to shoot prime numbers at the invading numbers to try to, you shoot them at them and they'll divide it by that number until you get it down to the prime number, and when it's down to 1, you have beat the aliens. Play that for a little bit and have a good time with it. Make sure you get those test me questions done, and I'll see you tomorrow.